Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. That's right, Kerbal Space Program. It's been a long time since I've done anything with this game, and I figure that in that time it's undergone a lot of updates, a lot of changes, a lot of improvement, and that combined with having a much more capable computer to run it on, I think it's time that I got back into this. And now, so here we are at the beginning of a new series, and I'm calling it Kerbal Manifest Destiny. And I'll get to the explanation of that in a moment. First, I want to check on my settings here, and it looks like everything is good. Yeah, I've got the camera wobble turned off for both internal and external because, yeah, I don't particularly care for the camera wobble. It causes motion sickness, and that's just totally and completely not fun. Yeah, this is all good. Advanced tweakables. Extended burn. CurbNet, yada yada. Okay, that looks good. Graphics, 1600 by 900. So we're doing very good there. I'm not doing full screen because I need to be able to see a couple of other things while the game is running, so yeah. And the part highlighter and so on. Audio, I've got it turned way down because the default volume of 50% is enough to have rocket engine sounds blow you completely out of the room. And of course, all of this. I've got a few custom key bindings and whatnot, but that's nothing big. And controller I don't have except for mouse wheel. Okay, we're good there. And so let us start this up. We'll start new. Manifest Destiny, and it's a career mode. Let's see. Yes, I still have my flag. Good. And let's go for some custom operations. Okay. Allow reverting, yes. Missing crews respawn, no. When they're dead, they're dead. No auto hiring. No entry purchase required. Research. I'm going to go with facilities not indestructible. I'm not going to include stock vessels. Persist inventory loadout. No. And allow other launch sites. Yes, I will allow that. I don't know how much I'll actually use them, but they will exist. Okay. Advanced. Enable Kerbal experience. Level up immediately. Oh, yes. We don't need to wait until they get all the way back to Kerbin to get their experience. Allow negative funds. I'm going to allow it just because it's a realistic financial thing. And for the first time, I'm going to turn on part pressure, G-force, and Kerbal G-force limits. Require signal for control, and we'll even have plasma blackout. Alright, always allow action groups. Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay, and there's part upgrades. Enable extra ground stations, sure. Include EC generating. If enabled, background resources will include parts to generate EC that use the stock generic resource converter, or unload vessels. If disabled, it won't. Or on unloaded vessels. So yes. Click through blocker. Let's not show the pop-up, and we'll just focus follows mouse click. Colonization, I don't think I need to mess with much of this. Yeah. Stage recovery. And again, I'm going to go ahead and leave those at their current default settings. TAC fuel balancer. This is, of course, a favorite of mine. Alright, and let's have the balance ins and outs available. TAC life support. I don't believe I need to mess with any of these things. Yeah, and then toolbar control. Okay, we'll go ahead and get this started. So yeah, here we are. Manifest Destiny. What is Manifest Destiny? Well, shut up, Gene. Let's go in here to the tracking station and have a look at the world. Okay, and you probably don't need to be on here. It doesn't need to be shown there in that screen anyway. Okay. Right here. This giant crater is like it's the size of a small country, you know. Pretty good sized crater. And it's an impact crater. You can tell because you've got this bit in the middle, and you can see here that mountain ranges and islands and whatnot have appeared around the edge of the crater and so on. You know this had to create a heck of a mess whenever that hit. And it was almost certainly an extinction level event. And this is a thing that's gotten into the Kerbals' heads over the centuries, over the thousands of years since it happened, that something like this could happen. And that it could conceivably, an impact like this, or perhaps worse, or more of them, or whatever, could cause extinction level events. And that being a disaster of such proportions that it basically kills everybody on the planet. Well, the Kerbals are not thrilled about this idea. And so, along the way, they come up with this Manifest Destiny. It's ingrained into their culture all the way. And the idea is to prevent the complete and total destruction of the Kerbal race. They need to spread out. They need to populate everywhere they can. And that means presence on Mune, on Minmus, and also on other worlds, like for example on Duna, or Joule and so on, or even on Eve and Moho. Yeah. Now, the reason this appearance is kind of goofy here is the fact that I have got Extra Planets mod installed, and that gives me, out past Joule, you have Sarnus and Erlum Niden, I believe that's pronounced, and Plock. And it's interesting. Plock is not a name, in my opinion, so much as Plock is the sound created when you fling a serving of whipped cream at the top of a slice of pie. Plock is the sound it makes. But this gives me, or this provides not only 4 more planets, but like another 15 moons in addition. Plus there's Dres, which might be a planet or a big asteroid or whatever, depending on your standards. Yeah, so there we go. Oh, that was special. So, yeah, we start out with $25,000 credits, financial units, whatever. And let's get in here to mission control, and we'll pick the first couple of missions, of which we can have 2. So we launch the first vessel, gather science from Kerbal, yada yada, and eventually upgrade this facility so that we can have more max missions at a time. Let's see, let's have a look at research and development. Now this tech tree, now granted I do have some mods in here, but the only major part mod that I have is the OKS Kolonization mod by Rover Dude. Well, yeah, that and I believe procedural tanks. But the rest of this is stock. So yeah, I do have a few things in here. I've got Kerbal Engineer, and somewhere in here there's a yeah, the MechJet thing is installed as well, but that's because there is like one single piece of MechJet that I actually use, and the rest of it just sits there. So there is one more thing to take care of, because we have a problem with one of the astronauts, with one of our would-be astronauts, who, this person is something of a glory hog. They like to be first in line to get aboard any ship, any vehicle, and they have this, well, it is a glory hog thing. They like to find themselves in situations where they have to make daring, crazy moves in order to be the one that saves the day, and so on. And so we're going to stop in here to the astronaut complex, and we're going to put a stop to this, a permanent solution, as it were. And this is a step that I don't honestly think that anybody's ever done this, at least not that I'm aware of. But the solution is drastic, it is permanent, and it solves the problem. Because this person has also been carrying on. Oh, okay. I hate it when the phone rings while I'm recording stuff. It's just annoying as all get out, especially when it takes 10 or 15 minutes to get whoever it is to shut the F up and leave me alone. Yeah, so anyway, I was to the point where I was going to enact a permanent, drastic solution to this person who is, with their talk of tall black aliens with purple eyes. Yes, Jeb, I'm talking about you. He's carrying on about these tall black aliens with purple eyes. And he won't shut up about it. And that combined with his, I've got to be Mr. Maverick hotshot pilot, it's given the space program a bad name. And it's giving us a lot of bad PR. And funding for a space program can be a royal pain in the backside anyway. So we can't have people like that around. And so the solution is simple. Jebediah Kerman, you're fired. Oh, I have wanted to do that for a long time. Yes, sir, indeedy do. I have been very much wanting to do that. And so now we've got a couple of missions. Let's put together that all-important first spacecraft. Shut up, you. And let's see. Got a Mark 1 command pod. And we'll get a flea booster. And no decoupler yet. Oh, well, we do have Jan Kerbal engineer, so I'm just gonna stick that on there. And where is our parachute utility? Here we go. Okay. All right, we've got actually properly staged. That's good. And I'm not coming up with fancy names, but I am going to try to name and save every ship. And of course, now this means our pilot is automatically going to be Valentina, which I'm cool with that. Oh. How about that? Yeah, that's cool. All right, so now let's get this all-important very first flight going. And pop that up, pop this, throttle it up, and let's rock. And given this is the first flight and the main objective is to just launch a ship, it's really not necessary to do any maneuvering at all. Just launch it, burn out the fuel, let the throttle drop, the speed drop down below 300, and actually I'm going to wait till the thing's moving downward and then pop the chute, after which point I will time warp until landing. All right, just about ready to flip and start going down. All right. Okay. Turn that off. And now let's time warp back down to the surface. Looks like it's going to land in the water. I didn't expect that. But then again, I didn't expect to be doing it quite this way. Anyway. Let's get this thing down there. And it should then be possible to do a little bit of something in R&D. Probably not a whole lot. Okay. Okay, let's grab the crew report. 2 science, woo. Let's get the EVA report. 3.2 science. All right, let's try letting go. EVA report. Oh, already got it. Oh, can't take samples. Oh, yeah, that's right. Grab, board, recover the ship. Okay. And there we go. 22, 10 science earned. Let's see what we can get for this. There's 22.2 science available. Okay. Decoupler and antennas and stuff. Okay, we'll grab that. And we'll go ahead and grab this. That leaves 12 science available. And this needs 15, that's 18, and that's 20. And I'm probably going to be following along the bottom of the tech tree, because the bottommost parts of the tech tree is where you find things that give you science and whatnot. So the ability to gain more science is definitely important. Okay. Let's get something going here. All right, let's get rid of that. Fuel tanks, yes we do. Decoupler, yes we do. And engines. And I will go with the old T45. Let's see. Okay. That's something. And oh, we don't have the vertical decoupler yet. Okay, not a problem. This will get some more altitude. And we can go ahead and toss a thermometer on there and throw a goo container on here and save that. And we're going to keep flying with Valentina for right now. This one also is not expected to do much more than escape the atmosphere. And I'm not actually certain it's going to do that, but we're going to give it a try and find out. No steering, anything like that, just hit the throttle and go. Paying attention to the apoapsis height. Anything over 75 will be considered plenty good enough. Yeah, 25. It's going up faster now. Throttle down a bit. Good. Right there. Throttle off. All right. Excellent. That will get it out just beyond the atmosphere. Get a milestone for that. And whilst we're here, log temperature. Observe the goo. Yes. Crew report. And I can't EVA just yet. Got to get that astronaut complex upgraded, I guess. Because otherwise that would be a nice excuse for an EVA. Okay. Let's time warp this a little bit. And I'm wondering if I can just go ahead and deploy the chute. And end up being able to recover the engines. Because, I've got the recovery bit installed. Deploying chute. I have a feeling I'm going to end up having to jettison that thing anyway, but I figured it's worth trying. Yeah. Had it been unmanned, I'd have gone ahead and tried it. But we do not waste pilots. All right. This right now is getting to about the half-hour point, which is what I'm going to call a limit for episodes on most circumstances. And so, 46 science, great. I'm going to stop in here and do something about, let's see, survivability. Yes, let's get that, and the press mat barometer and heat shields and assorted other things like life support supplies containers and stuff and nonsense like that. Let's grab that. All right, grab this. And all right, we're on the way. And next episode, we'll see about collecting some more science and yeah, what do we got? Okay. 3 tourists on a high G adventure. Basically, suborbital trajectories. Okay, we can do that now. So I'll take that. Yeah. All right. We'll look towards next time getting to the point where we can take a tourist up. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.